What's going on? Move the mouse back in City Skylines, the town of Plainville Plus. And after last episode, sort of getting some ideas, looking around the city and thinking about things from different perspectives, I thought a good perspective to think about today would be pedestrian traffic. So we've got a couple roundabouts, a couple places where there's a lot of traffic at certain intersections. And we saw earlier in the build in the season where just a simple overpass can reduce a ton of foot traffic at an intersection, and in turn reduce the traffic that's kind of piling up there. So I thought that might be kind of a good one for today. So taking a quick look at our city, we're doing okay budget-wise. It does fluctuate up and down quite a bit, but obviously we've got a bit of a garbage problem happening, which I'm not entirely 100% sure what happened because I haven't moved my service coverage around at all. So apparently everyone was saving up some garbage. We'll see how that all gets handled in due time. We're at 100% on budget for waste handling. I guess we could take a quick look before we dive in. Like, where is our coverage? We've got one lone recycling plant over here. We've got 3 over here. Maybe we move one of those. And then we've got the ultimate recycling plant over this way. But where are people having problems? They're kind of having problems down on this side. I don't know that there's a good spot where we can tuck one in. But they're not having problems in this area, that's for sure. So let's get one of these out of here. We don't need 3 up here in this area. It's nice to kind of have it off with the recycle. Can we squeeze the second one right in here? That would be kind of cool. That works. Oh, I guess the only downside to that is where is this truck going to? It's going back. The truck was delivering goods to that zone. So that's the downside, is recycling does make goods that go back into your industry. Unfortunately, the industry is way over there. So this was one of the first, or maybe the first big pedestrian overpass bridge that I put in. It's down here in a relatively busy intersection, but with all the pedestrians making use of that, it really takes them off of the lower street itself. In fact, there's 2 people standing around talking there, and a couple people standing around on that corner, but nobody's actually crossing the streets, which is good. Now, one of the reasons why this is possible, or why this happens with the AI in game, is that the pedestrians see this as a highway. They see it as a much faster route. Technically, they do walk faster on these routes, I believe. And as a result, they calculate that this is the faster route for them to take, even if it's slightly longer in some cases. So let's get a look at where we can incorporate some of those. And I think maybe what we can do is do a quick flyby of the city and see if we see lots of pedestrians crossing anywhere. And if we do, that's automatically where we're going to want. Automatically, we're going to want one. I mean, this is not terrible. This actually looks, I think it looks nice. It looks busy, but not too busy, right? It's not completely underpopulated like some areas of the city are as a result of some of the traffic stuff. So we won't do anything, probably around this strip, but let's take a quick scan at the intersections. Here's where we have a problem. Now, at least for now, we're going to keep this as regular roads because they are actually roads that have the trolley bus wires on them. So we can't completely eliminate pedestrians from those. We can give them some other ways to get around. How do we do it, though, with minimal impact on the intersection? I don't know that I want to do a roundabout in the roundabout because I kind of like the way those trees are. So maybe if we gave them some ways to kind of come around. Let's see if we can do this. This might look a little funky, and we're gonna delete a couple things to make this happen. I want to say, and I will double check this to be sure. I think this is, if we go, not that one. If we go on the lowest elevation step, I think you have to be 3 up to get over. Right? You can't go 2. No, you can't go 2. So we have to be 3 up here. That actually crooked. That's awesome. That's an awesome start. And I can't really do what I want to do over here. So the trick is over here we've got this metro station. Let's take a look at that, because that's going to ultimately prevent us from being able to hook in here. So there's nothing on the other end of the line. That's good. Can we do this? What do we have to do? We have to... Let's go into tunnels. Let's delete one piece of tunnel. Let's go over here and move this station. That should be enough room, but let's see. And if we let that play, that should autocorrect the trouble with the line. It's still pulled into the station. I don't know if it still thinks that line is broken. I think that it does. Somehow it thinks it's... Is it not going to realize that? Where does this metro go? Is this an express that comes back to the main? Okay. It stops once, twice, 3 times an express route. Sorry. Delete this line, yes. Okay, so we're going to go from here. We're going to stop at all the metro stops prior to this circle over here. And am I going to have to move that one and delete this line again just to get in here? So add a stop, close the line back out. Okay, now we've got a little bit of room to mess around with this, so let's do that. We're gonna delete probably this business, at least that one, and see if we can fit it in here. So pedestrian paths, freeform. So how do we do this? Let's go straight across right here. Let's turn off snapping. And let's go straight across right there. And now with the freeform on, do something like that. Can we get this in here? I thought there was a spot where we could get it in and not delete the business. Yeah, it was right. It was right there. Okay, let's give it a second and let's see if that reduces any pedestrian traffic. We could try the same thing on the other side. There's still going to be, I would think, some north-south traffic. So wow, everybody going up above. They're not technically crossing the street, so they don't see that as a advantageous path, or at least they don't yet. Let's see. Let's give them a minute. I mean, I wouldn't take that personally because that's a pretty big uphill. Yeah, there's a downhill on the other side. That's not worth the benefit. I'm just going to cut in front of traffic. So I don't blame them if this doesn't work. But this may not be the best spot kind of for our intersection to do this. Now, we could, and I've been meaning to do this, take the trolley bus out. I'm not a fan of the trolley bus. I really did it just for the Sunset Harbor episode where we added that in. If we look at down here, we don't have to worry about pedestrians here because they're highways. They can't cross. The only place they can cross is at the end of that road where it meets the highway, right? But I couldn't, walk all the way around the roundabout because it's just not an option. Now we could, connect a sidewalk along here, a pedestrian path that kind of goes along the outside. But that might just encourage more traffic at these cross streets that intersect with the highway roundabout. So, okay, there we go, right? There's certainly a lot less traffic. There's certainly a lot less pedestrian traffic that's actually crossing the street. Like it's offloading some of it. And we don't have any north-south. So like if you're coming from down here and want to get up there, the only way to do that is with a crosswalk. But we could kind of do this same thing, I think, on the bottom side here. So what if we go 3 up, click to there. Do we have enough room to slope this down? I don't think that we do. We do. It's abrupt, but it works. And I'm going to do that on this side. So it is a little bit abrupt, and it will take everybody a minute to figure out that it's there. And yeah, it's a little bit awkward. It's got a little bit more clearance than it needs, but those are the elevation steps that we have to deal with. But that should, again, help offload a little bit of traffic and not look too terrible in the process. I don't know. Does it look terrible? I would definitely tweak some things with Move It if I was on PC, but that is not the point here. In fact, that's the opposite. We're doing what we can with the tools that we're given. I still think this is really dangerous that there's no emergency stop on the end of those. So what is this? Yeah, what is this doing ultimately? There's not a lot of traffic crossing the actual intersection. When I say traffic, I keep referring to pedestrian traffic. But, there's little slowdowns here. I think we've got to look at how effective this trolley bus is, because this road could use an overhaul. It's too much stuff going on. I think it's time to upgrade this to a 4-lane. I want to say it's our busiest street at this point. I mean, we've got the industry area, which is just packed with truck traffic, right? There's no avoiding traffic there. We've got some busy intersections and things that slow down a little bit where there's mergers and a lot of crazy lane changes happening in certain intersections here or there. But like if you look at an area that is consistently busy, this is definitely the strip. This is the problem, right? And what we have very central to it is that trolley bus line. So what do? I think I'm going to upgrade this today. We've got a little bit of commercial and industrial demand, which we can meet with office. Let's try and tackle this right now. I know this wasn't the focus of today's episode, but let's see what we got. So if we look in here, do we do another tram route? It's pretty effective. You know what? Let's do this. Let's take a look real quick before we commit to that. We're moving 145 passengers with our trolley bus line. What do we have going on with, how's our tram line doing? 429, one tram line. That's over by residential though. That's not really a fair comparison, but I think definitely we can get rid of this 2-lane at least, right? This is just slowing everything down. So if we go into roads and let's do the regular 4-lane streets for now. We can sort of pick and choose as we go. And how bad is this going to mess stuff up? Pretty bad. We're going to move a lot of people out here. You've got to be careful when you do stuff like this. So let's do it, a bit at a time. What is it not letting me move here? Is there like a bus station right there? Taxi depot. I think that buys us enough space, but what is this actually? That's the bus depot. Sightseeing bus depot. Where's the tram depot? Isn't that over here somewhere? Is it this one? Trolley bus depot. Okay. Get rid of this. We're done with trolley buses. Back to roads. Back to upgrade. Gonna move a lot of people out. We're gonna have to fix the zoning. Let's do down to this intersection to start. And fix all this zoning. All right, so zoning wise, that should fill back up pretty quick. We've got good demand for it, so we can afford to kind of rebuild things like that. We're gonna knock our levels back down to 0 and reduce our tax income in the process. So that is definitely responsible for some of our budgetary woes there. But that should even out pretty quick. We're definitely having a little bit of traffic problems with the this roundabout. This is a busier intersection. You get the industrial area, you've got office and commercial and all kinds of stuff feeding down this way. And we've got complaints about the trolley lines. Those will go away. Do we have it? Okay, we have it looped around here. I was like, why is it complaining up here? Because These are regular roads, or should be regular roads now. Get rid of some of those pop-ups related to the trolley buses. So do we make this upgrade? This could be a mess here. You know, do we let people move around a little better here? So you've got 2 lanes. You get 2 lanes kind of smashing up right here. Bit of a mess going on. You know, this is what's slowing down the entire rest of the intersection. We gotta try and get people off of here as fast as possible. One of the ways that we do that is by making sure we don't have stupid lights like that. We want to keep the traffic flowing as best we can on the main road. So we want to force everybody on the side street to stop and just have this traffic keep going whenever it can. It's unfortunate because a stop sign is not a yield sign. It just means that they stop. And they're going to cut in front of the next available car they can cut in front of. So sort of like driving to Massachusetts. So once our demand kind of creeps back up a little bit, then we can kind of do the next segment, like maybe all the way down to the baseball field. Again, we'll let the demand settle, and then we can replace all the way down to the roundabout. And we could, again, look at that point, converting this over to an actual highway roundabout. People still need a way to go north-south. So these that are going up and down on your screen right now, we don't have a path for them, but that's okay. Actually, looks like our demand is still pretty high here. Let's see what kind of space we've got over here. We still got a couple businesses waiting to move in, but we're almost there. I think we can just go for it. We're in the green. We can certainly afford a little bit of problems here or there in the short term, in the interest of hopefully improving the traffic. I don't know. Sometimes I make it worse. Let's see if this is going to be problematic right here, because I need to move this park and this metro to make this happen, and those police and fire stations, I believe that was. We'll just come all the way down. We'll just come. We're really messing stuff up here. Okay. So before we get some really funny buildings moving back in here, again, we'll come in and fill and repair all this damage that we did along the strip. Let that play at 3 times speed for a minute and figure out what we're going to do over here. So we kind of have to break this park, which is unfortunate. But we made it so that there's no other way to walk there, right? Without going through that park. You can't walk to the stadium. So let's see if we can fix this real quick. So I don't want to break this park. I want to keep its level, which is level 1, so it doesn't really matter. But we don't have to do any of the additional setup if we think about this. So we do have to make a bit of a mess of our metro for a minute. So let's actually look at. Did I just turn that? So, right, that's not connected to anything right now. So this was turned to hook in to just be an express route. That's fine. That's easy. Let's just delete this. And if we play it for just a second and go into transport routes, there should be a completely broken line now. This one? No? Is this not? This is Metro lines, right? Did I not? Had I not hooked that one up? Were they not using that Metro? Because I don't even see anything in that tunnel, line-wise. Because I deleted the stop and it doesn't know to go down that tunnel anymore. Okay, and then what do we have over here? We have police and fire. Little police? Big fire? Okay. Let's just move these down this road for a minute, because we're not affecting the size of this road just yet. Or probably at all, to be fair. Roads upgrade. Let's see if we can do this now. What is this one? Community pool. To move that as well for a minute. Where can we move it where it won't move people out? Don't let me forget that that's there. And basically when I do, just let me know in the comments down below. I'll probably see it and think like, oh yeah, that's great. Thank you for reminding me. And then I'll forget by the time I actually go back to... we gotta move this also. Maybe I won't forget. Maybe there's gonna be too much stuff that we have to move. Okay, so roads, upgrade. It broke those pedestrian bridges we just built. The nerve of you, game. Okay, let's do that. That's fine. And do that. Let's see what that looks like. That's okay. I can deal. Okay, let's bring stuff back over before I forget and before we start zoning and don't leave space for it. So where was this? This was kind of... How do we do this with minimal interruption of the zones? I guess we can't really. We're gonna have to move some people out to do this. Okay, so we've got that. We'll throw the pool there. And then let's go back in and fix our zoning. We'll start with that residential that we just broke. Actually, that's fine right there. I mean, it says we can zone that, but I don't feel like we should zone over that gazebo and onto this property. Like, do we almost reserve that and make like a little mini park there? You know? Some pedestrian paths that kind of cut through. Use that space that way. I think that could work. Let's fill and fix our commercial zoning along the main strip. That's the thing that we'd like to move back in. We kind of broke our demand for. People are probably thinking like, why should I move a commercial business into this town where you're just going to knock out the streets and move me out? So I have to start over from scratch. We won't cram anything there. We'll give a little bit of buffer. We'll fill all that back in. And then actually, do we... I was going to say, do we move fire and police? But I think they're better served along this side street. Because that way they can exit the building and choose which way they want to turn. As opposed to if you put them here, and I've made this mistake before... they turn onto the divided road and go that way before they can turn and come back, and it can really affect your service delivery. Okay, so how do we get this all connected back the way it was? Well, we need to find a spot for number one, a metro station. So let's delete that one segment. Let's see, can we throw it in the same way it was? I mean, that works. We need people to get from A to B, and it doesn't really matter how they get there. They can't walk in to this property because I put a single piece of highway, single lane exit ramp, or highway ramp. I guess it can be an on-ramp too. But I've done a piece of that on either side. That there's no sidewalk, so that prevents pedestrians from walking there. What they will do, though, is take that park path, which is nice, if we can make it kind of line up right. Which it doesn't look that we can. So what if we came this way? This is going to be a little slop. Where will it let us put this? It'll let us put it right there. And it connects immediately across because it's so narrow. Oh my god. I mean, does that achieve the same thing? Yeah, it does. Because they have to go through the gate. Does that work? I wonder, do you charge? And maybe there's a way to test this. I don't know if you've got an idea. Do they get charged just for going through the gate? Like, if I don't have a gate on the other side, are they still paying to walk through the park when they exit? I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, I feel like logistically you'd only pay on the area. Must have a main gate. Did I delete the main gate? So this is a side main, small main, and side gate. Are those are way too close. We can't connect those, right? No. Is that far enough? It is, and it's sloppy, but it works. I mean, I guess it's not even... It might be better than the way I had it before. We could, you know, if you really wanted to make it look a little more the part, like we could turn snapping all the way off. And I'm still confused as to why some of these are... Like, I guess, okay, it's lit up, it's on. But, like, isn't that lit up? Isn't that lit up? I don't know. I think that's off, right? I don't know. It's a bad UI experience, in my opinion. So we could, if we wanted, you know, again, just to, again, make it look a little more the part, we could put some fencing around this block. And the road curves where the bends in the zone are, so I think that kind of works. But just to kind of keep people off of that area. I mean, let's be honest, if the fence didn't go all the way around, IRL people would just walk right around. They wouldn't mind. Did we not turn all the snapping off? Why is it doing this to me? Whatever, I don't know, whatever. Do something like that. That's fine, whatever. Good enough. One more tweak is the metro line. No, tunnel first. Got to connect the tunnel. And now we can connect that line. From here to Express and back. I don't know. We got to look at, and by we I mean me, but we were in this together. We got to look at how trains, if they are backing up, and if they have enough room to split. I think this is broken and causing a despawn. So we're gonna have to do a metro overhaul at some point. Trains are fine on this side. This split is too soon where trains can't get where they need to get. So if we brought this tunnel back and connected it in over here, that might fix it and should repair the lines too? I don't know. That's an actual cross in the tunnel. Let's see if we... Are we on freeform? We're on freeform. So we want to hook back this way. So hook in kind of over here. Further away from that intersection. Ooh, but is it too close to that intersection? Man, I really made a mess of this tunnel. We really, really do need an overhaul of this, and I really need to rethink it. I mean, that's definitely longer than a train, because we can see how long the train is right there. That should be okay. Will it correct the lines? I don't know. 3 times speed should tell us. It looks like it just redrew that line. Still a little confused over here, but that same line also has moved this way. Let's see if that does anything for the trains backing up. They're definitely stuck on each other right here. So this train can't pull forward into the station because this one can't pull out, which is stuck behind this one, which is stuck behind this one that can't pull forward. Like if you pulled forward a car length, There's plenty of room here to do that. There you go. It's almost like it heard me. So we still have this problem here, but as long as they're all backing up in the right lane, it's going to back up here. If it doesn't back up to the next intersection, it doesn't cause gridlock there. There's just way too much happening at this particular station. And we were trying to kind of make this work with some of the things that are in the base game. But what we could do, where is it? Last tab is hubs. There is the bus intercity. This one. Right? So what do we have here? We have a bus and we have a metro station. If we go into the hubs, we can have both of those in one building. Little smaller footprint. But also this one has two. I feel like I showed this in one of the videos. Sunset Harbor must have been. So this one has two metro stations built in. And if we look underneath, they're at a crisscross. Right, so you automatically have a separation of two different metro lines. Right now, I'm trying to get everything happening into this one metro station. That's why we have all that crisscross applesauce going on underneath. Where do we go for? How do I see metro tunnels? I just need to go underground. So there's a lot of stuff that's kind of crisscrossing and intersecting with one another. And we could remedy that a lot. So I think that's what we're going to end up doing. We're going to lose money because we won't be charging people fees to go through the park. How much does this make? 3,400. Now it's down to 1,800. 125,000 people have walked through that park. That's crazy. That's more than twice our city population. It's very popular. But we can make it a lot more effective. Now we got bodies piling up. Why? And crime? My goodness. Okay, so our garbage problem isn't any better than it was at the start of the episode, but let's see what we did to traffic. How bad did we mess up traffic? 86%. Is this road any better? I don't know. You know what we need to do is we need to inspect on intersections and make sure that people are stopping. Like, look at that backup, right? So where are they backing up? Here? Because they're stopping there. Here? Because they're stopping there. We just want the traffic to keep flowing. We don't want it to stop on this road. Everyone else should stop. All the way down the line. That's fine. And at that point, we can also upgrade this. I'm glad we came down here. Put the finishing touches here. Not change direction, upgrade. So. So let's see. How does that look? We still get the ability to go north-south on the roads, and everyone else is using that pedestrian path to cross east to west, which is good. Let's take a look, and really let's take a look down from here, because this is what we're trying to solve, is the traffic at this intersection. Do I turn this pinch off? Probably. Right? Is this pinch slowing us down? We'll have to keep an eye on this. So, where are things backing up? Well, they're actually moving pretty good right now. They're not backing up to the previous intersection. This is a really heavy block. We may want to look at tramming this out and doing some Old Town tricks and trying to improve things that way. But we're at 87%. You know, we know where some of our problems are. I think we can do some things to fix it. Metro overhaul is going to be one of those, and I think we'll do that build here, kind of take this all apart and get that connected much more efficiently. That should reduce all the train jams that we're having down below ground. Haven't really looked at that, just sort of put it in out of necessity and gave some people some express routes to connect in to a central hub, and haven't really given it a lot of thought. So stay tuned. We will cover that and so much more on an upcoming episode. I'm not done with I was going to say I'm not done with Plainville, but technically I'm not done with any city. I never finish them. But we're going to keep plugging away. And hopefully you will find some ideas, some inspiration, some tips and tricks, or at the very least, some entertainment in this process. If you enjoyed, likes, comments, and shares all help the channel a lot, and they're so greatly appreciated. If you're new here, subscribe, and consider hitting the bell to get updates in this and other series. If you'd like to support the channel, links to that and lots more in the description down below. But until the next one, this is Move the Mouse, signing off.